Shabbos Shalom. Couple of things that we see in this parsha is transgressions have consequences, okay? And when we got the flood, the scene which humanity became corrupted and filled with the air with violence and weakness, okay? And always have the sin. We got the forgiveness, and the forgiveness is that Hashem decided to preserve Noah and his family, but He did punish the humanity. So we see the sin. Now we see the blessing of the Hashem when He just saved the family of Noah, so the humanity can continue. The punishment is the rest of the humanity was destroyed by the great flood. Now, on the other one, another example that we have that is we had the golden calf. The golden calf, okay, that was a transgression. The forgiveness is Hashem did not annihilate the entire people with death, but only those who were directly involved are the ones who got punished. And in that day, they died by sword, more than 3,000 people. So we got that was the punishment, okay? And also now we have with this parsha what the scouts did, the transgression is that they disbelieved that Hashem could not lead them into the promised land. The forgiveness that Hashem continued to accompany them to through the desert for 40 years. So, but the punishment is that the 10 scouts died immediately, and the 603,000 die during the 40 years. This year, I just realized how a commandment or a trust in Hashem, how far it will go. Like only out of those 600,000, only Caleb and Yehoshua were 2 out of 600,000 were worthy to be redeemed and go into the promised land. So, and then we have another example is that we will see later is the Hashem have the problem with the Meribah waters, where the transgression was that Moshe and Aaron did not comply, did not talk to the rock, and instead he hit the rock. So we see the transgression. Okay, now what was the punishment? Is that he will not go into the promised land after carrying with this people for 40 years. Did he forgive him? Yes. Why? How do we know? Because he let see the land with his own eyes. There's a midrash that says that we give him like a telescopic eyes, and he saw the whole land and everything. So that was his forgiveness. Some people say that in that case, that Hashem was very harsh with Moshe, but we have to understand, the more you give in, the more you're responsible too. Okay, as like last week we have the bat mitzvah, and her behavior before that it was one. Now it's another one. She's so good. And another thing is that we had to be clarified that the 10 that went, the 12 that went into Canaan were explorers. They were not spies. Spies is what Yehoshua ben Nun sent 40 years later. Those were two spies, but at the beginnings were not spies; they were scouts. Yeah, okay, so what was their the scene of the scouts? Then they, and the same thing that happened when we studied Torah. They went and saw the land. What did they have to do? They had to go to Moshe and said, Moshe, this is what we saw. But no, what they did is they did their own opinion. They give their own opinion, their own judgment. Well, they shouldn't be. Now, how we compare that with the Torah is that, especially when we just came in or we start reading, we have a way of interpretation. Now and the way of interpretation of the nations is not valid because they don't know the Jewish ways. They don't know the way we've been thinking for thousands of years. So they just don't know. So what is the right way to study Torah? Is you got to read it, but you have to have somebody who will teach you the correct interpretation. And that's why we have the oral Torah. That's why we have the oral Torah. So the reading Torah and the oral Torah, they go hand by hand. So that's something that we learn in this parsha, that we have to, if we want to study Torah, okay, let's not put our own wisdom in and say, okay, this is what I see, this is what I believe. Well, you can believe that, fine, but just to make sure, go to the oral Torah, and you have to have a rabbi that it will teach you the true meaning of whatever passages that we're studying. Shabbos Shalom.